HarperCollins presents Her Daughter's Secret by Lisa Timoney. Read by Rachel Atkins. To my mum, Bronwyn, for everything. Kiss. Now. Chapter 1. Bee didn't fit in here. For a start, it was a long time since she'd had egg-shaped buttocks like the other mothers in the playground. Hers probably looked like two hot-cross buns squashed at the bottom of a carrier bag. She tugged down her sleeves to warm her hands, her gaze fixed on the double doors, trying not to imagine how Phoebe must feel when she watched all her classmates skip towards their mothers. Eventually, Phoebe appeared, flanked by the classroom assistant, Kelly. Bee rushed to greet her. "Auntie Bee!" Her niece held out her arms, and Bee crouched down, wrapping her in a hug. "I didn't know you were coming today." Bee pulled back, looking into Phoebe's face. The birthmark covering most of her right cheek and eyelid was livid against the rest of her pale skin. She wondered if Phoebe was tired or cold, since it was a darker red than usual. "I'm doing early shifts this week, so I can pick you up." Planting a kiss on Phoebe's dark hair, she stood, feeling her knees creak with the effort. She smiled at Kelly. "All okay today?" "There was a bit of unpleasantness, but we dealt with it, didn't we?" Kelly rubbed the top of Phoebe's head, seemingly oblivious to the little girl's grimace. Phoebe reached up to flatten her hair. Bee stiffened. "Anything I need to tell her dad?" "It's fine." Phoebe flapped a dismissive arm and set off across the playground. "We're on it," Kelly said, touching Bee lightly on the wrist before turning and heading back inside. By the time they reached Bee's old Yaris, the car park was almost empty of the SUVs and sports cars that usually jostled for space. "Blimey! What did you have for lunch? Lead weights?" Bee groaned as she lifted Phoebe into the passenger seat, and the little girl giggled, stopping when Bee leaned over to pull the seatbelt across. "I can do it," she said, a note of defiance in her voice. Bee smoothed down the maroon tunic she hadn't changed out of since her shift at Sweetingdale, and stood back, listening for the click. The memory of a passenger in another car, where the seatbelt hadn't been done up, made her wonder if she'd ever see Phoebe in a car without the ghost of her mother coming along for the ride. When they arrived at Phoebe's home, Bee switched off the alarm, standing aside to let her niece skip past the glass-encased staircase, which would have a permanent mosaic of sticky fingerprints if Bee didn't know how to wield a microfiber cloth. She kicked off her trainers, popping them into the cupboard hidden under the stairs. The temptation to abandon them on the polished wood floor was strong. It would be funny to watch the consternation on Ewan's face when he came home to a house that didn't look like something from an interior design magazine. "Homework?" said Bee, with a mock-stern voice, following Phoebe to the kitchen. She deliberately slapped the satchel onto the white table and made Phoebe jump. The little girl sniggered. "It's smellings today, isn't it?" She remembered Immy at the same age as Phoebe, giggling when she told Bee she'd accidentally called spellings smellings in front of her teacher. The memory stung the back of her eyes for a moment before she blinked it away. She opened the kitchen drawer where Ewan kept the stationery. It was neater than any in Bee's house, the pens, pencils and felt tips all segregated like knives and forks in a cutlery drawer. Plucking out a sharp pencil, she pointed at one of the emerald velvet dining chairs. "Come on." Phoebe clambered onto the chair and opened a page with a list of 10 printed words glued in. "These smellings are easy," she said. "I can do all of them with my eyes shut." "Let's see if you can."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?